What up? It is your girl, Dr. Chocolate, and you know we in the sex room. Cause where else will we be? Anyways, today's topic is domination. Dominance, all of that, right? All of that will work. That's what we're talking about today. We want to get an understanding, okay? So either you are dominant or you are submissive, basically, right? That's where we're at with this. So it refers to the practice where one partner exerts control or authority over the other, often through physical restraint, emotional dominance, or role playing. It is a core component of BDSM. And we're going to get to all the BDSM. We already did the B, we did the bondage. Now we're working on dominance. So that's where we're at. I have the uh what you call it, the TikTok videos. Y'all know what I be using, so let me quit playing with y'all. But the clips, that's what I call it. I call it the clips. Anyways, we're gonna get started with this one because I feel like this is the first one we need to really hear about when it comes to dominance and dominant and what types of dominance they have. You know what I'm talking about? So that's where we're gonna go.
Different kinds of dominance. If you like this video, check out my bio. 1. The sadistic dominant. Sadists enjoy expressing their dominance by inflicting pain or discomfort on their submissives, and they enjoy the idea that the sub is willing to push themselves to that point just to please them. 2.
Crazy work, okay? Don't push me to no point, okay? Dr. Chai is not with that one. But if you are, let us know in the comments. We want to know what you into. That's why we're here. And if you're willing to try it, if that's something that you might even like, right?
2. The nurturing pleasure dominant. This kind of dominant focuses on the well-being and the pleasure of the sub, and they enjoy the sense of ownership that they get from knowing that only they can make the sub experience that kind of pleasure.
Say, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of might be with the nurturing dominant. I might could get jiggy with that. You know what I'm talking about?
3. The high protocol dominant. This style of dominance is characterized by lots of rules and discipline and is probably the most similar to what you see in 50 Shades. This style really appeals to people who enjoy power and control in the bedroom. 4.
50 Shades now. If you've seen 50 Shades, then you already know. I mean, the movie had you thinking you could be into it, right? I don't know what it did for y'all. If y'all watched it, right? I know I did, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, some of it, and then it's just some of it's just like no. But I don't know. I guess sometimes you can probably be able to do anything because you see in the movie, if you saw the movie, the way he coached her, you know what I'm saying? The way he brought her in, you know what I'm saying? So you just have to, I guess, see what you can get jiggy with, right?
4. The degraded dominant. Degraded doms really enjoy the power rush and the fun that comes from humiliating or objectifying their sub. They enjoy the thrill and the taboo of being able to treat their sub in a way that would be unacceptable in the real world outside the bedroom. 5.
The degrader. That's kind of cold right there. Just even the word that she used, but people like to be degraded. I've actually witnessed it, so I know it's just stuff that people like. So I guess it is what it is. Do you like it? I mean, it's like taboo. It's a little kinky. Maybe it turn you on.
Rough dominant. This kind of dominant really enjoys living in their raw power and expressing that through things like intense punishments, hair pulling, or CNC. They really enjoy the primal nature and enjoy being able to live in their physicality.
She say they really enjoy the primal nature and enjoy being able to live in their physicality. Okay. Basically, it sounds like you're gonna get a paddle. It's gonna be some real stern shit going on. There will be some bruises. It sounds like there will be some bruises, and you're gonna love it. No, not me, but you're gonna love it.
Let me know which ones I missed in the comments.
So, which ones did she miss, guys? I'm not quite sure. You let me know if you know she missed any, but she did damn good for me. So hopefully it was a good help for you too. So, anyways, let's get into the next one of our clips.
A lot of psychology around dominance and the thrill of control. Because while subs say BDSM makes them feel safe, there's the flip side where dominants often say it makes them feel grounded, focused, and connected and in control of both their lives, themselves, and their partner and their dynamic. Because there is a huge responsibility in controlling someone else's pleasure.
I'm absolutely sure it is a huge responsibility to control someone else's pleasure or pain. Oh my God.
Or pain, or even their whole life if you're doing 24/7 total power exchange. So it just really creates that deep emotional fulfillment.
Absolutely deep and emotional. I'm sure it can create that. I guess if you're willing to try it, if you're willing to get into it, or if you're already into it, then you do know this. So let's go ahead and get. We have the ladies talking. Let's go ahead and let the men talk. I'm gonna let this one talk because I feel like he hit some points for me. Not quite sure about the rest of you ladies, but for me, he definitely hit on some stuff.
Talk. Despite being naturally dominant, she finds peace in submission. So she's looking for a dominant man who's a gentleman first and a beast second. A strong leader, someone who can mentor her and hold her accountable. A dom with a gentle side and a firm hand. Someone who can anchor her when she spirals and her demons drag her into chaos. Who can soothe her with gentle words and a rough and steady grasp. Hold her down firmly by the throat into the sheets. Love her when she's breaking and cannot love herself. Take her, use her body and release her from her mind. She needs someone who she can confidently give the only thing that she's ever kept for herself. Her trust. That's it.
That's it, big dog. That's it. Her trust. For real. Like, I know that sounded like poetry. Maybe it was just to me. I don't know if it was to you guys, but definitely sounded like poetry to my ears. Oh man. Anyways, just so you know, there's always a dominant one and there's going to be a submissive one, and that's the roles. But then they also have something that they call switch, which we'll get into later because we're definitely going to go over the submissive and we're going to go over the other ones. But just so that we understand the difference, I do want to go ahead and read a little bit of the definition. So in a dominant role, you take control of the scene or relationship, guiding your partner through experiences and setting boundaries. Being a dom is about leading with confidence, creating structure, and making decisions. You take on responsibility of ensuring that the experience is fulfilling for both parties, and consent is always central to every interaction. It is essential to have an open communication and establish clear boundaries to ensure that both parties feel safe and respected. Being a dom isn't just about power, it is about trust and respect. A dom must be attuned to their partner's desires, using control to enhance the connection and not to dominate for the sake of dominance. Consent. Consenting adults. We need to make sure we say this. Consent must be reaffirmed throughout, and the dynamic is always negotiated beforehand. For many, the satisfaction comes from creating a space where both can explore their desires safely and consensually. We want to make sure that you know that we know that everything we talk about here is between two or more consenting adults. I want to go ahead and say more because it could be more, right? But we want you to make sure that we say it. It must be consenting. We're not talking about anything that is not consenting between adults. Anyways, we're going to get to the submission part. But before we do that, here is a short clip. Okay, sit down. So basically, she doesn't care if you can't breathe. Okay. So, anyways, submissive enjoys giving up control with the power dynamic, finding fulfillment and following the lead of their dom. In this role, surrendering to your partner's direction can be both physical and emotional. Consent plays a crucial part as a sub. Must feel comfortable giving control to their dom while trusting that boundaries will be respected. Negotiation and communication beforehand are very vital, ensuring that both parties are on the same page about limits and expectations. Being a sub can be deeply empowering because it involves conscious submission, clear consent, and mutual respect. A sub's emotion and physical safety is just as important as the dom's enjoyment. In a consensual dynamic, the sub has the right to express their boundaries and stop the scene at any time. The pleasure comes from the trust and connection built on respect and open communication. And of course, we have the switch, which is either or. Either you like sub or you want to be a dom. So you like to be both at different times, right? That's what they're saying. That's what the switch is. Not going to read it because basically that's what it is. That you like to take on both roles. So we are going to get to the next little clip.
I think it's just a kink. Obedience can be meditation, and service can be sensual. Imagine this. You kneel, you listen, you breathe, and you're told exactly what to do. And for once, you don't have to think. You just feel. And that is where surrender begins.
Now, is she the dominant one or is she the submissive one? I can't even tell right there. She got me confused. She might be a switch. She could do both, huh? Well, I don't know. I just thought she was going to bring a little sexiness to the clips, and she broke it down a little bit of ways for you. You can just release the control. All of it. Yes, yes, yes. All right, let's get to our next lady.
In kink. Dom, short for dominant, is someone who consensually takes on a leadership role in a dynamic, specifically a kink dynamic. We're talking giving instructions, setting rules, creating structure, orchestrating a scene, all of these types of things. Here's the part where people get confused. A good dom is not barking orders or walking around like I'm king of the castle here. They are present, attentive, and focused on the sub's experience as much as their own, okay? Because two people are in this dynamic, both people are here to have a good experience. Neither party can be selfish. And in these dynamics, the dom is often listening more than they're actually speaking. The reason for that is they prioritize communication, consent, and building trust. That is like my number one thing about this. It is about the trust that you build together. Again, being mean doesn't equal being dominant most of the time. Some doms are soft, nurturing, even a little bit shy, especially outside of play. And then you have your primal, authoritative, very strict type of dom. Those exist too, because there's no one size fits all. There are multiple ways to be dominant, but it keeps coming back to the foundational things: trust, communication, and consent. Titles like daddy, mistress, master, they're just titles. The actual work of being a dom lies in their ability to negotiate, be present, and follow through on what they're committing to. So if you're with someone right now or talking to someone and you're wondering, are they really a dom? Here are some good questions to ask. Do they respect your limits? Do they communicate clearly? And that involves speaking and listening. And finally, do they make you feel safe? All right, let's help each other out here. If there is a dom red flag that you have, or even a green flag, share it. Help us all learn together, so as people are navigating and vetting, they're not so alone in the process. Like and follow for more.
That's pretty good stuff, because basically she's just trying to let you know it's not all about abuse and disrespect, because I feel like that's what some people probably think it's about. So, I mean, they have plenty of ways. We already talked about the types of doms, and so we're just trying to break it down and see if you're interested. So, it's so many different ways. So I guess it's whatever you want dominance to be in your life, or submission, right? Well, we're not talking about submission, so we're going to stay focused. We're going to go ahead and get to the next guy, because we do have another guy.
Of women reported fantasizing about being dominated, according to this survey in the Journal of Sexual Medicine. This is about her relinquishing control and being submissive to the man who's dominating her. If she is being dominated, then she feels like she doesn't have to hold back anymore. She isn't in control. She's relinquished that control, so she doesn't have to hold back, and she can just let her body be, and she can really get into that present moment, get out of her head, get more in tune, in touch with her body, because she is no longer responsible for what's going on. She has relinquished that role to her partner. And this is actually very, very common with boss babes, female CEOs, female managerial types, basically any woman who has a large degree of responsibility and authority during her everyday life. Very, very often she will want to be dominated like this in the bedroom, because she primarily wants to be able to let go and relax and like we said, relinquish that control finally at some point during the day.
I can totally agree with that. I'm not quite sure about all the other women that's in, in entrepreneur places, or their own bosses, or work for themselves, or in, I don't know. But if you one of them ladies, go ahead and speak. But for me, I have to agree a little bit with the man. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I am in agreement, okay? But I want to know what y'all think. All right, so let me get to the next lady. And then we have about a couple more, and we're gonna be done, guys.
One misconception of BDSM and dominatrices is that we are doing this to harm another person for selfish reasons, and that we don't care about what's going on with the other person, because that's what's shown in the media. It's actually, that is what happens inside of a scene, but it's inside of a scene that we have pre-negotiated.
That we have pre-negotiated, basically that we have consented. Once again, they might as well just use the word consented. We are agreeing to do this. So, ain't nobody forcing nobody. That's different now. People be in relationships where they're forced and they're being dominated and they don't want to be. Totally different. But right here, we're talking about consent. Okay? Anyways, we got another couple for you, and we're going to get out of here because you already know this is not the short and sweet video I wanted it to be. We are already past short and sweet.
Number 2, people seek dominatrices because there's something wrong with them. This one hurts people the most. There are so many individuals that carry a silent shame because they think their desires make them damaged. And this is simply false. People seek structured power dynamics for a multitude of reasons. Clarity, self-discovery, emotional release, identity exploration, spiritual insight. Yes, you heard me right. Spiritual insight. And the desires for roles that match who they truly are. None of that is pathology. It's intentional self-understanding. So for kink viewers, you are not broken. You're simply expressing something your body already knows. For non-kink viewers, you may find parallels in journaling, prayer, meditation, or any practice where you surrender roles, responsibilities, or self-pressure in order to gain clarity.
Well, y'all know how I feel. We all got to try stuff out to see what we like. So, try it out. See if you like it. Or you can be like this couple, if you're the lady in this couple and you feel like, no, never. And, hey, that's on you. But, hey, we definitely wanted to talk about it, and we did. I'm going to hit y'all with this last little video, and then we're going to be done. We're going to be out of here. We want you to definitely go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment below. We appreciate it. And this song will be titled The Zoo by R. Kelly. That's the song that we will put on this playlist because it's crazy and it's a lot of stuff going on in there, and it's kind of a lot of stuff going on in this dominant world. So that's where we're at. Let's drop this little video so y'all can get y'all laugh on, and then we're going to get out of here.
Wife's name out your fucking mouth.
I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to my...
Right, so that she's not with it. Don't try it on her. You better make sure it's consenting, okay, guys? All right, hit that like button, subscribe. See you in the next episode in the sex room.